Hello and welcome to Verblink. Hi there, I'm teacher Oakley. Hello again, Heidi.
Hello, nice to see you again.
Likewise, you're in the class very quickly. Okay, for the next hour, we are going to talk about idioms, in particular idioms that have something to do with fishing. Yay, fishing! Yeah, so hopefully we can learn a little vocabulary and some idioms, and as well as talk about any related idioms or idioms that may be similar in your native languages. Uh, okay, hello, Alexandra. How are you?
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Fine, thank you. Hello from a night, New York.
From New York. You're in New York?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, really? Far
Really?
out. Cool. What are you doing in New York?
Just exploring the city and enjoying my time.
Nice. Very good. Excellent. Well, have fun. Okay. Well, hello, New York. Hello, Isaac.
Hi, teacher. Good morning from Spain.
Good morning, Spain. Okay. Good morning to you. Thanks for joining. I'll talk to you in a little bit. And hello, Araceli. Hello, Araceli. Hi. How are you? Okay. All right. I'll try talking to you in a minute. All right. We're going to talk about idioms related to fishing. So, Alexandra, are you a fisherwoman? Have you ever been fishing?
No, never.
Never. Okay. So some terminologies may be a little different. Oh, okay. All right. For you, Isaac, how about you? Have you done much fishing?
Well, actually not, but when I was a child, I used to go to fishing with my father and my little brother.
Okay. You,
I really don't like now.
okay. I used to go fishing, not
Go
go
fishing.
to fishing. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Where were
As
you
I like to
fishing?
see it.
You like to eat
I,
fish.
yeah, I like to see it.
You like to see. Oh, did you
Yeah.
fish when you were a child? Did you fish in the ocean or lake or
Well,
river?
it was at the river. Yep.
Okay. So you probably used a rod and a reel. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Woo. Excuse me. Oh, that one snuck up on me. Excuse me. Uh, okay, a rod is that long pole that, or you call the fishing pole or a
Uh-huh.
fishing rod, and a reel is the thing that you turn to reel in
Ah,
your line.
okay. I was thinking uh, if because next Sunday I will start my vacation and I
Uh-huh.
will gonna be in the boat for a week.
Really?
And fishing it would be a good idea.
Sure. Something to do.
Yeah, yeah,
Where will you be on a boat? In the Mediterranean and
yeah. The Mediterranean and
yeah.
Ibiza Island.
Oh, nice. Very cool.
Hmm.
Everyone's going on vacation. I'm so jealous of you guys.
I'll tell you the next week.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. All right. So, when you fished as a child, you used a rod and reel. Did you use lures or did you use bait? Do you know what I mean?
No, you can repeat.
Lures or bait. Lures, well, let me explain
Uh-huh.
because they may come up in idioms, actually. Lures are man-made objects They may look like little fish or
No. I think bait.
bait.
Yeah.
Okay, you use
Mhm.
smaller fish or you use
Yeah,
worms
yeah.
or insects or
Lures, I think it's more used in boat while it's running.
well, kind of. You use lures
Yeah.
for certain types of fishing,
Hmm.
bass fishing,
The
salmon
big
fishing.
ones.
Big ones, usually, generally speaking, that's true.
Hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. And generally use bait for smaller for river fishing, but they use bait for catching tuna, which are huge.
Hmm.
They use live bait for that as well. So, um, okay, just wanted to talk a little bit, introduce a little bit of vocabulary before we start looking at the idioms. All right. All right, let's go ahead and look at the idioms. We're probably going to see other vocabulary. Hang on, let me do a screen share with you, and we're going to do an exercise to try to learn some new idioms. Um, okay, in this exercise, we have 10 idiomatic expressions here in bold print, italics, and we're going to try to fill in the blank using these idioms. These This exercise is done in the form of a dialogue. Okay, so one person says something, and the other person, indicated by the little arrow, might reply, for example. So these are situations where we would hear these idioms. Okay, Alexandra, if I said to you, he's good looking, he's got a big house, he's powerful, you might reply,
Um, he's quite a catch.
yeah, he's quite a catch. And also this ending here is also very common. You don't need it to complete the idiom, but it's often commonly with the idiom. Quite a catch by anybody's standards. Uh, right, so if somebody's considered to be very desirable,
Mm-hmm.
quite a catch. Oh, yeah. Okay. Uh, Isaac, do you play
Hmm.
squash every day of the week? You might answer.
Maybe letter F. Yes,
Sorry.
I'm
F.
afraid. I'm hooked.
F. I'm hooked. Yes. Very good. You're
But
hooked.
I don't know what it means.
All right. If you're hooked, just like a fish hook, many times
Oh.
when we fish, we catch a fish with a hook. If the fish is hooked, that means it's caught, it's stuck, right?
Mhm.
Generally speaking. So if a human being is hooked on something, well, okay, if you're hooked on squash, not so bad, not a big deal. But if you're hooked on heroin, ooh, that's not good.
Mhm.
It can mean you're addicted to something.
Okay.
You're hooked on smoking or hooked
Mhm.
on. So it's similar to the idea of being addicted to
Yeah.
something, but not. It doesn't. It can be used that way. Oh, I can't quit smoking. I'm hooked. All right.
Mhm.
Yes, it can be that way, but we also use it to talk about something that we really, really enjoy, especially when
Okay.
we've something maybe we've just started doing.
Yeah.
Could be
Sports
anything.
or mhm,
Could be sports. Could be
reading. Mhm.
could could be, for example, I have to watch Game of Thrones every week. I'm hooked. I have to see
Mhm.
what happens next on a television series, for example.
Okay.
Okay. All right, Alexander, if I say to you, you can never get the tiniest smile out of him. I've never seen him laugh. You might reply,
Maybe cold fish?
yeah, he's a cold fish. Yep. Someone who's a cold fish is very unemotional, expressionless. Doesn't not only happy and laughing, but the emphasis is on positive feelings. He doesn't express positive feelings, but also general lack of any kind of emotion. Mm-hmm. He's a cold fish. Oh, okay. Isaac, Prime Minister of Luxembourg, and he thinks he's important. Okay.
Well, I suppose.
Hang on.
Oh, he's a big fish in a small pond.
There you go. Exactly. Very good. Luxembourg is a very tiny place. All right. He's an important person in a small place. If you're the mayor of a town of 300 people, all right, you're a big fish in a small pond. Exactly. Okay. And there's there's a lot of expressions that have to do with big fish, small fish. For example, I have bigger fish to fry, meaning I have more important things to do. I can say he's just a small fish. The police, when they're investigating, for example, drug smugglers, they want the big fish. They don't even want to waste any time on the small fish, the unimportant people in the crime organization, for example. Okay. Alexandra, he just phoned me and told me he didn't want to see me again.
Oh, that's enough. There's plenty more fish in the sea.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Obviously, I might say she just phoned me and told me she didn't want to see me again. Okay, there's plenty more fish in the sea. There's plenty more romantic interests. Although it's usually used to talk about romantic interests, boyfriends and girlfriends and such. However, occasionally you might hear it in another circumstance, like, oh, I didn't get the job I really wanted. I might reply, don't worry, there's plenty more fish in the sea. All right, it's possible to use it simply to mean there's many more options. Okay, Isaac, why are they having all those secret meetings behind closed doors? Why are they doing that?
There's something fishy going on.
Indeed. There's something fishy going on. Okay. Isaac, do you know any other idioms that kind of mean the same thing? They're not necessarily to do with fish, but if you suspect something's not quite right. Oh, well, I could say something's not quite right, for example.
No.
No?
To smell the rat? No?
I smell a rat. Exactly. There's something that's wrong with the situation, illegal or something wrong. Something rotten in the state of Denmark, which I think is a paraphrase of Shakespeare, is another one. Yeah, okay, they all mean the same thing. Something suspicious. Okay, well, Alexandra, what do you think of my hair? Oh, boy.
What do you think of my hair?
Mm-hmm. You must. Why?
Are you fishing for compliments?
Indeed. Yes. Why are you fishing for compliments? Yes. If you're actually trying to instigate, trying to get someone to compliment you, fishing for compliments. Right. How do I look today? How do you like my hair? Okay. How do you like my new dress? Okay. Something like that. You're fishing for compliments. Um, yeah. All right. Isaac, why are you thinking of opening an office in Osaka?
Uh, Letter C. We've landed a big contract in Japan.
Perfect. Yes, of course, Osaka is in Japan. All right, you land a big contract, right? You land a big job. You can, in fishing, in actual, really physical fishing, when you catch the fish, when you actually get it on land or get it in the boat, you say, you can use the verb, you land a fish. So idiomatically, you can land a big contract, land a good job. Yeah, I landed a great job working for Samsung. Okay. Something like that. All right, Alexandra, this is the third time this week that Lucy has had lunch with the doctor. This is the third time this week that Lucy's had lunch with the doctor. All right. Wouldn't surprise me.
It wouldn't surprise me if she's angling for promotion.
Okay. Another more, I guess, more formal word for fishing is angling.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it's kind of interesting that we have fishing for a compliment, but you angle for a promotion. Yeah. Definitely. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, angle for promotion. You're trying to get something you want. All right. Very often, this is a very common usage. Angle for promotion is a good example.
So it means like she is not expressing directly her expectations, yeah?
That's pretty much it. That's the idea. Yes, very good. She's not being completely direct about it. She's going, well, at an angle. So it's both fishing and there's another aspect of the word angle, not direct, is at an angle. So kind of interesting, this idiom, because it's using both meanings of the word. So yeah, you're absolutely right. All right, Isaac. Impex's move to the north has been really successful, hasn't it?
Yes, it's been good news for the local economy.
Ooh.
Letter E. They spawned several new companies.
Okay. Yeah, that's right.
It was the last one.
It is the last one. You got it. Success. Very good. Okay.
What is spawn?
Oh, I knew you were going to ask me that. Okay. All right. Salmon are famous or well known for the fact that they travel from the ocean. They swim through difficult channels, up rivers, to small little rivers and streams in the mountains and such, in order to lay their eggs and spawn. Okay, they make babies. So when fish make babies, they spawn. So this idiom, they spawned several new companies. Basically, they've given birth to several new companies. All right. A company moves into a town, and then the workers need to be fed, so a restaurant may open. The company may need supplies, so a supply house may open. Things like that.
What else can be spawned?
Wow, a lot of things. Disaster can be spawned by one government attacking another one. Let's see. What else? You could.
So in this case, like when a disaster is spawned, it's just like bring on.
Yeah, exactly.
But not necessarily negative in this way, yeah? Like with spawn, it can be both good or bad.
That's right. It's pretty much neutral, this sort of an idiom. Right. It can be very neutral. You can spawn feelings in someone. The touching and beautiful wedding ceremony spawned romantic feelings in my heart. Okay, that's very nice, right? And his attitude has spawned feelings of hatred in me. Oh, okay, quite negative. All right, so that's right. Start out producing, kind of. Hook, line, and sinker. All right, got some more idioms here. We're going to try some more. Fill in the blank. Okay, back to you, Alexandra. Can you read the whole thing for me?
Just a moment. We've got the deal, and on our terms. They believed our story about not being able to afford the extra 10%. They swallowed it. Not C, not D, not E. Maybe B?
Maybe. Okay, and basically the whole idiom includes swallowed it. They swallowed it hook, line, and sinker, although sometimes we shorten it. Did they believe it? Hook, line, and sinker. The whole thing. So, hook, just to talk for a second about the actual dictionary, physical, concrete meanings. Hook is the bent piece of metal, sharp and pointy. All right. The line is the fish line, the sort of string that connects the hook to the pole. And the sinker are small weights that you put on the line so that your bait or lure can sink, go down in the water to wherever the fish are. So hook, line, and sinker are all pretty close to each other when you're fishing. Right? You put on a sinker and then something that makes it swivel, and then a hook. They're all within a meter of each other. So the whole thing, meaning that the fish swallows hook, line, and sinker. They've got the whole thing. So completely, they swallowed it completely, hook, line, and sinker. So anything that could be complete. They're going to buy the house. They're going to buy my house with all the furniture and everything in it. Hook, line, and sinker, completely. Often it can mean completely everything, and it often has something to do with this part here. They believed our story. It could mean that you're lying, in other words. We often also use the expression "they bought it"
Mm-hmm.
when we're lying to somebody. Yeah, he bought it. He bought our story. Mom bought our story that we didn't steal the cookies, although we did. Yeah, she bought it. She swallowed it hook, line, and sinker. So if you believe something completely, it also has that that usage. All right, Isaac, how about this next one?
We spent a fortune training people. Then, before we know it, they moved on to one of our competitors. We must look after them better so that they stay with us. There's too many.
Hmm.
I'm not sure, but I think it's letter D. There's too many rice to debate.
No, it is not. Here's a clue. Theirs. We have is. There is. Too many is the subject. So now we need a verb. Well, not okay. Yeah, well, okay. The idea that you need a verb with is, then it's going to have to be a continuous tense.
Sleeping, letter C.
Yes. Slipping through the net, right? There's too many slipping through the net, getting away. We're not capturing enough. Okay, customers can slip through the net. How come people come to our store and then they don't buy anything? They're slipping through the net. It could
Sleep.
mean,
It's like escape or
yeah,
similar.
illegal immigrants who come into the country and are not caught slip through the net.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, criminals who the police are trying to catch. Oh, if too many of them slip through the net, they get away, they escape. Exactly. All right. Often in business we use it. This is a little bit weird. This example, a little bit. I mean, completely believable and useful and practical application, but it's very common to talk about customers slipping through the net. That's probably the most common usage. Just a totally a side note here. When people that you train quickly move on to another company, they don't continue to work for your company. In American English, that's called turnover. Your staff turns over. You have people being trained and then leaving. It's very, costs a lot of money to train people, so it's a big problem if you have a high turnover. But just to note, for British people, turnover is something quite different. They don't use turnover that way. They use turnover to mean amount of money coming in. Well, not necessarily profits, but gross. All the money coming into a business is the turnover.
Mm-hmm.
A little subtle, but important difference between American and British English. Turnover means two different things. Can be confusing. Okay. Moving on. Number 3, Alexandra.
This is the first time John has made a mistake. It was a one-off. Trust him. He'll be more careful in future. I think we should maybe rise to the bait.
No, I don't think we should do that.
Yeah.
It almost fits. Certain possible
Ah,
context it could fit,
I'm
but
very attentive. I think we should let him off the hook this time.
right, exactly. Okay, let's talk about this whole thing. Also, okay, on the hook, off the hook. If you're on the hook, then you're responsible for something. If somebody lets you off the hook, they let you, not take full responsibility for something. I'm on the hook for the ABC company account. Okay, that means I'm totally responsible if I lose the account. I'm the one that's going to be. I'm the one that's going to have to suffer the consequences if I lose the contract. So I'm on the hook. Uh, could be okay. I bet a lot of money on the World Cup. I bet Brazil was going to win. I was on the hook for $1,000. Not true, by the way. I would never do that. But you could be on the hook for money that you bet. You're responsible for. You could lose that money. You're definitely on the hook. There's definitely repercussions. You're going to lose $1,000. So, if you let someone off the hook, you allow them to avoid responsibility for something. So we're letting John off the hook. Okay, one other thing. Alexandra, what is a one-off?
I don't know. Maybe one-time fault?
Yeah, okay, a one-time event. Now, it can
Yeah.
be, this is another one that can be good or bad. It's neutral. Um, you could say, oh, your boyfriend got you flowers, but it was a one-off. He's never done that before, and he'll never do it again. But hey, it was nice. So it's often it just means a one-time event, but it's probably used in a negative way. Well, no, it can be used completely neutral. For example, all right, you get a very good deal buying a car. You might say, oh, it was a one-off. It was the last day of work for this salesman, and he wanted to sell one more car before he quit his job, so he gave me a half price. It was a total one-off. You'd never get that deal ever again, for example. Okay. Isaac, number 4.
Look, the unions want a strike. If we will be playing right into their hands. If we well, I'm not sure if it is letter A or letter F. I don't know what
Okay.
choose. Or,
I would say neither. It's not A or F.
well,
It's actually D, Isaac. If we
well,
rise to the bait.
famously,
All right. This one's a little difficult to understand. This is a hard one because you don't really know what the situation is. Look, all right. The unions want to strike. Okay. Imagine that you're part of the company. Okay, this is what they want us to do. They're baiting us. Okay, if you rise to the bait again, in real fishing, you're using the bait to trick the fish onto the boat so you could kill it and eat it. Okay, so if you rise to the bait, you're going to kind of be a sucker and do what the person really wants you to do. What does it mean if you bait someone, which is extremely related to this? Do you know, Isaac or Alexandra?
Mhm. Yeah. Now I understand the sentence. Yeah.
Okay. Do you know what it means if you bait someone? Uh,
I think I know, but I don't know how to explain in English.
mm, okay. If you bait someone, you basically goad them. You're trying to manipulate them emotionally. So you're trying to make them angry. You may not even care if they're angry. You may not care about what you're talking about. Maybe I'm talking about religion. I'm just trying to bait somebody because I know they're very sensitive about religion. So I make some kind of hurtful remark about religion or something like that just because I want to see them angry. So if they rise to the bait and start fighting with me, they're just doing what I'm manipulating them to do. Okay. So often we bait someone in order to get an emotional response. This example here we're looking at with the unions, they're talking about baiting someone for to actually get them to do something, not to have an emotion, but rise to the bait someone, very often used not just for a specific action you want somebody to do, but for a specific emotion. It's very common. Okay. Alexandra, number 5 here. Alexandra? Alexandra, what happened? Oh no. She's in New York City. It's very dangerous there. Alexandra, are you okay? I'm worried about you now. Okay. I don't know what happened to her, Isaac.
Mm.
Okay, I guess we'll
The
come back to
microphone.
her. I don't know. I hope she's okay. Okay, Isaac, can you try number 5 then?
Yeah. The police are looking for a man in his 30s who has probably been in prison already. They're having to their computer records. They're having to. Now it's letter A. They're having to troll through their computer's records.
You got it. Exactly. Trawl through. Do you know what trawl is?
No.
It's one word we did not discuss as far as real fishing, dictionary definition fishing. To trawl is when you're in a boat and you keep the boat moving while you're fishing.
Oh,
All right.
mhm.
That's called trawling. Some people, you can trawl with a net or trawl with rod and reel, trawl with a line. Okay, so they're going to have to trawl through their computer records. There's a connotation, there's a sort of an inference that they're going to have to go. You trawl, obviously, it's not like a motorboat, right? When you're fishing, you can't go 100 kilometers an hour because, of course, you won't catch any fish. Right, so you have to go slow. Fish speed. Yeah.
Mhm.
Right. So there's an element here that they're going to have to go through very slowly and carefully, go through their computer records. You trawl
Yeah.
through something, you go through carefully and slowly. Yeah. Often we use this idiom when we're talking about something with a lot of detail. Okay. A programmer, computer programmers. All right. The program has a problem. If you know anything about computer programming, there's so many details, and each element, each number, everything has to be perfect, and one missed keystroke can totally wreck a program. So if they need to fix a program, they've got to go through very slowly, meticulously, carefully. They've got to trawl through everything.
Mhm. And one question, when
Yep.
it says for a man in his 30s, what
Uh-huh.
does it mean? The age?
The age, yes.
Yeah.
A man in his 30s refers to anyone between the age of 30 and 39.
Mhm.
Right. And of course, we use the same thing in his 20s, in his 50s, in his teens. Of course, we'd be talking about a teenager.
Mhm.
Um, we don't actually have a way to say it for children like this. A man in his single digits. No. A boy, an
Mhm.
adolescent, a child is what we would say. Alexandra, are you back? Okay, I guess not. Isaac, it's me and you. Alexandra, when you come back from getting your room service or whatever you're doing, just say hello. Isaac,
Yeah, this
go ahead.
job is too important to advertise in the local papers. If we want to attract a top sales manager, we need to uh, we need to cast our net wider
Yeah,
and advertise nationally.
there you go. So cast your net wider. If you can mentally picture a fisherman throwing his net in a wider area, you're trying to catch more fish, obviously.
Mhm.
All right. They want to advertise for a position in the company. They're thinking about casting their net wider. Of course, often used in business. Another one that's often used for here. It's about employees again, but very common to use about trying to get customers. We're a local company, but we're thinking about casting our net wider and um, trying to sell our products in a wider area.
Mhm.
Okay, and again, I don't know. For some reason, many of these fishing idioms have to do with business and capturing customers. I guess because
Yeah. Mhm.
fish is capturing, and also has to do with police trying to capture criminals. Again, capturing. So if the police department casts their net wider, um, when they have when police try to catch someone and they have like roadblocks and they have many policemen around a certain area. They also use the whole expression cast a net
Mhm.
uh, to mean they refer to it as a net. Okay, we're gonna have to all right cast our net from here to there, cast our net wider, whatever. Okay, let's talk about different fish. Okay. All right, we've got some idioms here that deal with very specific uh, types of fish, species. Okay, let's see if we can figure these out. All right, first one, they're just floundering about. Isaac, what do you think that means? We're mix
Well,
and
let's
match
see.
here. Yeah. Which one might mean they're just floundering about?
Maybe they don't know what they're doing.
Indeed. Right. Okay, do you know what a flounder is?
No, flounder, no.
Fish. It's it's a flat fish. It's kind of big and it when it swims it looks kind of awkward, not very graceful. So, okay. Interesting thing here is we don't say he's a flounder. we don't use it as a noun. We don't compare a person to the fish. We say he is floundering. Interestingly, we would say this about okay, someone who doesn't know what they're doing. Also, someone who is physically not doing well, like a person drowning. Uh-oh, he's floundering. I think he's drowning. A soccer player who maybe he has an injury and he's just not, he looks awkward. He's not really, he's floundering out there on the pitch. So it can definitely have to do with being physically awkward, as well as awkward in every other possible way. Maybe you don't have a clue. You're at a job in the workplace. You just started. You haven't been trained yet. You probably tend to flounder a little. Or sometimes, maybe you have a job where you just get too busy all at once and things start to break down and come apart. And you start to flounder. It's happened to me. Okay. They're just minnows. Alexandra, are you there yet? Are you here yet? Are you still here? Okay.
It's just strange.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, they're just minnows. Okay. Well, it would help if you knew what a minnow was. What does that mean?
They are unscrupulous and dishonest.
Nope, not really.
I don't know what minnows
Minnows?
can mean.
Well, that kind of gives it away. A minnow is a very small fish, frequently used for bait. So you catch minnows just so you can put them on a hook to catch other fish.
They are very small and unimportant.
Right. You can't really eat them. They're completely full of bones. But other fish like to eat them, bigger fish. So, yeah, small and unimportant. Right. So if I say they're just minnows, they're unimportant in the company, in the organization. Yeah, exactly. They don't really matter. All right. Number 3. Here's an interesting one. A red herring.
That's a red herring. Well, it must be. It has nothing to do with what we're discussing.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it means. I suppose
Okay.
it.
Okay, well, this is a very interesting idiom. All right, a red herring is usually, this is not really a good example here we're looking at. A red herring is something like, for example, if a policeman is trying to solve a robbery, let's say, and aha, he finds a clue. Okay, he finds some fingerprints, and then aha, he can see that the window was open because there's marks on the windowsill where somebody pried open the window. Aha, that's a clue. Then this detective finds a pack of matches on the floor, and the pack of matches says ABC nightclub. Aha! The detective, the policeman, may think this is a clue. He may think that, oh, maybe this criminal goes to this nightclub frequently. But in fact, it's not. It's a red herring. This pack of matches was dropped by someone else, a plumber, 2 weeks ago. Okay? It has nothing to do with the crime. So some kind of clue, some kind of a clue that has nothing to do with the crime is a red herring. Okay? Possibly, sometimes, a red herring is introduced on purpose in order to throw somebody off. All right, maybe I'm trying to make a complicated business deal with a Japanese company, and suddenly there's a lot of publicity about one of their minor partners. Maybe that's just to throw me off in my negotiations. Maybe it's to make me think, the company's falling apart. So red herrings can be accidental. They can be purposeful distractions, very often. Something to distract you from what is the real story. Or occasionally it can mean closer to what we see here, just something that has nothing to do with a discussion or with a negotiation. All right, it's similar in meaning, but like if we're talking about football and I say Babe Ruth's batting average was over 300 for 6 years, that has nothing to do with our conversation about football, because that's a complete red herring. All right, so really there's kind of three sort of uses for that. But it's very interesting because there's really no other idiom that means this when we're talking about the whole thing about a clue, or maybe a planted clue which isn't real. You see this idiom used in detective novels a lot. Yeah. And yeah, spy movies and cop movies. Okay, number 4.
They had a whale of a time.
Ooh.
Yep, they had a wonderful time.
Of course. A whale of a good time, a whale of a time. Okay. The whole expression, you couldn't say we had a whale. That wouldn't make any sense. There is another meaning for just a whale, not a whale of a time. Any idea? You would find a whale, for example, in a Las Vegas casino. What if I say I spotted a whale in the casino? What am I talking about?
Means like you have win.
No, if I won, I would probably have a whale of a good time. No, a whale it's similar to the idea of a big fish, small fish, which minnow is a small fish, unimportant. A whale is somebody very important, especially to mean that somebody, usually an individual who has a lot of money, is a whale. I think they use this in Twitter to talk about somebody who has 1 million followers or something like that. I don't know. Somebody with a lot of influence, or just plain somebody with a lot of money who's willing to spend it.
To people.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. Now, last one here. There's sharks.
The sharks. Letter A. They are unscrupulous and dishonest.
That's right. And we can say a loan shark. That's somebody who loans money at a very, very high interest rate. If you don't pay them back, they break your fingers or whatever. Okay. Also, there's pool sharks. Playing pool, billiards. They're really good and they act like they're not so good until you bet a high amount of money, and then they beat you completely. Pool sharks, card sharks, people who pretend to be bad at something like pool or playing poker, but then they cheat you, basically. Yeah, unscrupulous and dishonest. Totally. Okay. All right, let's review time. Alexandra. Nothing. Still. My goodness, what is going on? All right, Isaac, me and you still. Here we have a combination, two pairs of words and pairs of blanks. Okay, what would fit here?
Congratulations, I heard you landed the Japanese contract.
Perfect. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yep, great. Number two?
You're better off without him. He was totally unreliable. There are plenty more fish in the sea.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Very good. All right. There are definitely more options. All right, number three.
Brian is usually very shy, but if you want to get him talking, start talking about politics. He'll soon he'll soon rise to debate.
Very good. Okay, this is very similar to what I was talking about earlier, getting someone to
Yeah.
emotionally react. Mm-hmm. All right,
Excellent.
I think this is a better example. Okay, number
I
four.
was late again, but my boss let me off the hook as long as it doesn't happen again.
Okay, great. Yeah, he didn't punish you, right? Okay.
Well, you'll never find a job if you limit yourself to this area. You really must cast your net a bit wider.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and in this sentence, when it says limit yourself in this area, I don't know, they could be talking about a physical area. They could be talking about an area in the job market. In other words, maybe you want to work not just in hardware, maybe in software as well. Or, okay, maybe not just sales, but look at marketing and look at research and development as well. Something like that. We don't know. And last but not least,
What a party! We had a whale of a time.
excellent. All right. I know you probably did not have a whale of a time. Isaac, but I hope you learned very much for joining me. But my time is up, and hopefully I'll see you again real soon. And bye, Alexandra. Hope you're okay over
Thank
there.
you for the class.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Isaac. Bye bye.